Welcome to Iceland, an island which outer reaches touch the Arctic Circle, whose weather brings frigid winds, drenching rain, year-round snow, and freezing temperatures. With a rugged sea and underlying volcanic activity, Iceland's unique location and harsh weather conditions have shaped the island's landscape into one of unprecedented beauty. While Iceland has unprecedented beauty, the formidable weather and landscape has made gathering, collecting, and producing food a challenge throughout Iceland's history. The way food is developed because of these challenges leads us to interesting discoveries and insights into the culture and ways of Icelandic people. Iceland's only endemic species is the Arctic fox. In short, this entails that any other animal that resides on the island was either brought over for food or accidentally brought to the island. As you can already see in Iceland's early history, it was near impossible to even find a simple meal's worth of food on the island. All of Iceland's first pioneers had to bring livestock and animals to the island to survive, implying that even small trips took lots of resources, time, and money. Even when settling the island, the first settlers, Vikings, just deforested all of Iceland in search of firewood for the cold winters. The food was always an ongoing issue, forcing Icelanders to get creative. In the short growing season, they would grow crops to feed their livestock. In the winter, they would bring the livestock inside their houses to keep warm. They made many milk-based items and preservatives, and all year long, they would fish. As technology advanced, so did Iceland, expanding its ports to ship more goods, harnessing the geothermal energy that ran beneath the island, creating greenhouses that simulated good growing seasons all year long, and expanding livestock and farming investments. All the while, Iceland was expanding the variety and quality of food that was being produced all throughout the island. And so, food developed, allowing a more diverse diet for all Icelanders. But old traditions were not quick to fade, and in Iceland it is still quite common to see farmers out riding on their horses, rounding up sheep, or to see exotic foods like fermented shark and whale on restaurant menus, and even buy clothes from a brand whose entire purpose was once to outfit Icelandic fishermen. The ways of Iceland's past, of how hard it was to survive and gather food, are still present today, to remind us that Iceland is still as formidable as it once was, and the struggles that existed then still exist. And to live in such a place, one has to be creative, strong, innovative, and resilient. While Iceland has revolutionized their food industry through success not only in tourism but in other fields as well, I seem to notice differences between food in the United States and food in Iceland. In Iceland, you can still order waffles for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, and a burger for dinner, but I still couldn't help but notice differences. There are no drive-thrus in Iceland and hardly any fast food, but there was one sole difference that I noticed between our two cultures. In California, just because we live by the sea doesn't mean we eat fish. That doesn't mean we don't have fish, it just means we don't rely on fish. In Iceland, you were lucky if you saw a menu that didn't have some form of seafood on it. This leads me to the conclusion that the culture in Iceland is eat what you have, eat the fish you can catch, grow the crops you can harvest, and raise the animals that survive. Icelanders live off the land, and they respect the land. In the United States, it's a little different. You don't need to eat what you have, you eat what you want. You eat what you want because it's available and easily accessible. Two totally different lifestyles that form just from the food available and chosen to eat. In the United States, because you can eat what you want, you may have more of a variety in your diet, but you won't get the authentic, less produced, and unique food of Iceland's culture. Food and producing food has been a constant challenge in Iceland's history. In ancient times, Icelanders' diets were pretty limited, and they made do with what the ocean could provide and the basics that came from livestock. As Iceland developed, they've gotten more and more creative to add diversity to their diets. Yet the limitations of Iceland's geography and harsh climate still dictate that they must import much of the foods that add diversity to their diets, continue to be creative in expanding farming industries and maintaining stable food sources to survive in this phenomenally beautiful, but stunningly inhospitable land we call Iceland.